I've always known I was the family workhorse, but watching my sister Trinity fake cry at the dinner table while announcing her terminal illness was the moment something inside me finally snapped. My name is Greta, and I've spent the last decade of my life paying my parents' mortgage while they funded my younger sister's endless stream of artistic pursuits. Tonight was just another performance in Trinity's lifelong show, but this time, she'd outdone herself. "The doctors say it's rare," Trinity dabbed at her eyes with our mother's best cloth napkin. "They've only seen a few cases like mine." Mom reached across the table, clutching Trinity's manicured hand. "Oh, sweetheart, we'll do whatever it takes." I stabbed at my untouched lasagna, counting backward from 10. The same lasagna I'd made after working a 12-hour shift, while Trinity had spent the afternoon preparing herself emotionally for this dinner. "There's this innovative treatment center in Switzerland," Trinity continued, her voice trembling perfectly. "But the cost—" Dad cleared his throat. "How much are we talking about, Princess?" 200,000. Trinity's eyes darted to me for a split second. "But they have payment plans." The silence that followed was deafening. I knew what was coming next. It was as predictable as sunrise. "Greta," Mom turned to me, her eyes already hardening. "Your sister needs us." "She needs me, you mean?" I set down my fork. "Since when do you have a rare illness, Trinity? You seemed fine at Christmas." "It came on suddenly," she whispered. "The pain. Some days I can barely—" "Which hospital diagnosed you?" Trinity's lip quivered. "Greta, how can you be so cold? Your own sister." "Answer the question." "I can't believe you're interrogating me right now." Trinity pushed back from the table, chair scraping against hardwood. "Mom, Dad, I knew she wouldn't understand. She's always been jealous of me." Dad raised his hands. "Now, girls." "Jealous?" I laughed. "Of what? Your failed art gallery? Your yoga teacher certification that you never finished? Or maybe the organic soap business that mysteriously went bankrupt?" "Stop it!" Mom slammed her hand on the table. "Your sister is sick and you're acting horrible after everything we've done for you? Everything you've done for me?" The words escaped before I could stop them. "I've been paying your mortgage since I was 22. I covered Trinity's college debt. I bought you a new car when yours died. What exactly have you done for me?" Trinity burst into fresh tears, right on cue. Mom rushed to comfort her while Dad looked anywhere but at me. "If you won't help your sister," Mom's voice was ice, "then maybe we should discuss your apartment." My stomach dropped. "What about my apartment?" "Well," Dad fidgeted, "it's just that, since you're the only one with real collateral—" I stood up so fast my water glass toppled. "You want to mortgage my apartment? The one I bought with my own money?" "It's just temporary," Trinity sniffled. "Once I'm better, get out." My voice was barely a whisper. "Excuse me?" Mom's eyes widened. "Get out, all of you, now." They left in stages, Trinity first, supported by Mom as if she could barely walk, Dad trailing behind with mumbled apologies. The moment the door closed, I sank to the kitchen floor, shaking. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Hello? Is this Greta?" A man's voice, unfamiliar. "Look, I know about your sister's treatment center. Google the place, check the photos, and while you're at it, look up reviews for the Grand Alps Resort and Spa. Same building, same staff, different name." "Who is this?" Click. I sat there for a long time, my dinner growing cold on the table, Trinity's performance replaying in my mind. The perfect tears, the vague diagnosis, the convenient treatment center in Switzerland. My hands were steady as I reached for my laptop. One quick search would tell me if I was crazy for doubting my baby sister. One search to prove Mom right about what a horrible person I was. The photos loaded, and suddenly, I wasn't shaking anymore. I wasn't even angry. For the first time in my life, I felt something else entirely. I felt dangerous, because there it was. The exact treatment center Trinity had described, complete with luxury spa packages, 5-star restaurants, and not a single mention of medical care anywhere on the website. Game on, little sister. Game on. Holy shit, Rebecca said, scrolling through the resort's website on her phone. Look at these amenities: hot stone massage, caviar facial, champagne brunch, some treatment center. We were sitting in her cramped PI office, coffee cups growing cold between us. Rebecca had been my best friend since 3rd grade, and she was the only person I trusted with this. Keep scrolling, I said. Check out the pricing. $2,000 a night for the luxury suite? Jesus. She looked up. And your parents are actually buying this? My phone buzzed. Another text from Mom. Trinity's in so much pain today. Hope you're proud of yourself. I showed Rebecca the message. They're not just buying it. They're trying to guilt me into funding it. What about her boyfriend, Ross? Wasn't he supposed to be some hotshot day trader? Funny you should ask. I pulled up Ross's Instagram. Look where he checked in 3 days ago. Rebecca's eyes widened. The Grand Alps Resort and Spa. Well, isn't that convenient? It gets better. I opened my email. This morning, Dad sent me paperwork to co-sign a loan against my apartment. They need it urgently for medical expenses. Tell me you didn't sign. Of course not, but they're not letting up. I showed her the dozen missed calls on my phone. Trinity's even got our aunts and uncles involved now. Everyone thinks I'm the monster who won't help save her life. Rebecca set down her phone and leaned forward. Greta, this is fraud. Like actual criminal fraud. If they take out loans based on false medical claims, I know. I rubbed my temples. But I need proof. Real proof, not just website screenshots. A slow smile spread across Rebecca's face. Well, you're sitting in a private investigator's office, and I happen to have some contacts in Switzerland. How much? For you? Pro bono. Consider it payback for that time you helped me move apartments. She was already typing on her computer. Give me 48 hours. My phone buzzed again. Trinity this time. Having a really rough day. The doctors say stress makes it worse. Thanks for adding to my suffering. Below the text was a photo of her looking pale and drawn, clearly filtered. Look at this bullshit, I showed Rebecca. She glanced at the photo, then opened Instagram. Interesting, because 20 minutes ago, she posted this in her stories. There was Trinity, glass of wine in hand, looking perfectly healthy at some rooftop bar. The post was tagged, "Living my best life." She probably forgot I have a Finsta account that follows her, Rebecca smirked. Amateur move. My hands were shaking. I need to confront her. Not yet. Rebecca grabbed my arm. Let me dig first. If she's really planning to scam your parents out of their retirement and your property, we need to nail her properly. Just then, Rebecca's computer pinged. She clicked something and her eyebrows shot up. Well, look what my contact at the Swiss bank just sent over. I leaned in to look at the screen. There it was. A receipt for a 3-month booking at the Grand Alps Resort and Spa paid in full. The name on the booking, Trinity Lawson. 3 months? I whispered. She's already paid for it? With a hefty deposit. Rebecca scrolled through the details. And look at the booking date, 2 weeks before she announced her illness to your family. My phone buzzed again. Dad this time. Your mother's crying. Is this what you want? To tear this family apart? I stared at the message, something cold and hard forming in my chest. You know what, Dad? Maybe it is. Rebecca looked up sharply. What are you thinking? I'm thinking it's time someone taught my sister about consequences. I stood up, gathering my things. Keep digging. I want everything. Bank records, social media, witness statements, whatever you can find. And then what? I thought about all the years I'd spent being the responsible one, the reliable one, the one who always cleaned up everyone else's messes. And then, I said, I'm going to destroy her little fantasy world, piece by piece. As I reached the door, Rebecca called out, Greta, Just be careful. Family drama can get ugly fast. I turned back, managing a smile that felt more like a grimace. Rebecca, it's been ugly for years. The only difference is, now I'm done pretending it isn't. Walking to my car, I got one more text. Trinity again. The clinic needs an answer by Friday. Hope you can live with yourself if something happens to me. I saved the message. It would make a nice addition to the evidence pile. Game on, indeed. You should see her, wasting away in that hospital bed, I overheard Mom telling our neighbor in the driveway. The doctors are doing everything they can, but I gripped my steering wheel tighter, fighting the urge to jump out and expose the lie. Trinity hadn't been near a hospital bed in years, unless you counted the time she faked food poisoning to get out of paying her restaurant bill. My phone lit up with a text from Rebecca. Got more. Ross has been living at the resort for 2 weeks already, charging everything to Trinity's new credit card. Before I could respond, another message popped up. Also found social media posts from resort staff. Guess who's been bragging about their VIP guests coming for a 3-month stay? I was about to reply when Mom knocked on my car window, making me jump. We're having a family meeting, she said through the glass. Now. Inside, Dad sat in his usual recliner while Trinity perched on the couch, wrapped in a blanket despite the summer heat. She'd really committed to the look. No makeup, hair deliberately messy, dark circles under her eyes that I recognized from my old theater makeup kit. The clinic called, Trinity said weakly. They need the first payment by tomorrow, or they'll give my spot to someone else. Dad shifted uncomfortably. Greta, honey, about your apartment. No. I remained standing, arms crossed. I'm not signing anything. You selfish bitch. Trinity's sickly facade cracked. I could die. Really? I pulled out my phone. Because according to your boyfriend's Instagram, you look pretty lively at that rooftop bar last week. Trinity's face went pale. For real this time. You're stalking Ross? Interesting that you're more worried about Ross than explaining why you're supposedly dying but still partying. Those are old photos, she stammered. He's having trouble accepting my diagnosis. Mom stepped between us. That's enough. Greta, your sister provided all the medical documentation. Show me. I turned to Trinity. Show me one actual medical report, one real doctor's name, one legitimate diagnosis. Trinity burst into tears, right on schedule. I can't believe you're doing this to me. She ran upstairs, sobbing theatrically. Are you happy now? Mom's voice could have frozen hell. She was finally opening up about her treatment, and you ruined it. Opening up? I laughed. You mean lying through her teeth? Dad stood up. Greta, please, we're talking about your sister's life. No, we're talking about my apartment, my money, my future. Again. Family helps family, Mom snapped. Really? Where was that attitude when I needed help with college? Or when I worked 2 jobs to pay your mortgage? That was different. Because it was me? The words hung in the air like smoke. Because I'm not the precious golden child? Before they could respond, voices drifted down from upstairs. Trinity was on the phone, probably thinking we couldn't hear. It's all falling apart, Ross. She knows something. No, I don't know how. Well, what am I supposed to do? The resort needs the deposit tomorrow, or... No, don't you dare bail on me. We planned this together. I watched my parents' faces as Trinity's words reached them. For a moment, just a moment, I saw doubt flicker in their eyes. Then Mom shook her head. She's delirious from the pain. You're making everything worse. My phone buzzed. Rebecca again. Got the smoking gun. Bank statements show Trinity and Ross planning this for months. Want to see? I looked at my parents. Really looked at them. Dad, avoiding eye contact, already reaching for his checkbook. Mom, her face set in familiar lines of denial. You know what? I headed for the door. Keep the medical documentation. In fact, gather all of it. Every report, every diagnosis, every receipt. Because when this all comes crashing down, and it will, You're going to need to explain to the police exactly how you got scammed by your perfect daughter. Is that a threat? Mom's voice shook. No, Mom, it's a promise. Outside, I texted Rebecca back. Send everything and book me a flight to Switzerland. Her response came quickly. Already did. You leave Thursday. I started my car, watching Trinity's bedroom window. She was visible now, pacing, still on the phone, gesturing angrily. No sign of the frail invalid she'd played downstairs. My phone lit up one last time. A message from Dad. Please don't do anything rash. We can work this out as a family. I thought about all the family dinners where Trinity announced her latest project that needed funding. All the times I'd covered for her lies. All the sacrifices demanded of me while she lived consequence-free. You're right, Dad, I typed back. This is a family matter. And it's time for some family truth. I hit send and pulled away from the curb, leaving Trinity's performance and my parents' willful blindness behind. Next stop? Switzerland. I'll do it, I told my parents over speakerphone. I'll help pay for Trinity's treatment. The relief in Mom's voice was palpable. Oh, sweetheart, thank you. I knew you'd come around. I sat in my home office staring at my flight confirmation to Switzerland while Rebecca worked on her laptop across from me. She raised an eyebrow at my performance. Just send me the clinic's payment details, I continued, keeping my voice steady. I want to handle the transfer myself. Trinity has all the information, Dad said. She'll text you everything. Right on cue, my phone buzzed with Trinity's message, account numbers, routing information, and payment instructions for the Alpine Medical Institute. Rebecca turned her laptop to show me what she'd found. Identical bank details for Grand Alps Resort's luxury package bookings. I'll take care of it tomorrow, I promised my parents. First thing in the morning. After hanging up, Rebecca let out a low whistle. You're getting good at this. I learned from the best. I forwarded Trinity's message to Rebecca's work email. Add it to the evidence file. Already done. She clicked through some documents. Speaking of evidence, look what I found. She showed me photos from the resort's social media. Ross lounging by an infinity pool, date stamped 3 days ago. In the background, staff prepared for some kind of event. They're hosting a wellness influencer retreat next week, Rebecca explained. Guess who's on the guest list? She pulled up an email confirmation. Trinity's name was there, listed as a lifestyle and healing advocate. She's not even trying to hide it anymore, I said. That's not all. Rebecca opened another file. Remember Trinity's college fund? The one your parents emptied for her art gallery venture? Don't remind me. They sold their boat to cover the losses. Well, I traced where that money actually went. She showed me a series of transfers. She used it to buy into a pyramid scheme. Lost everything in 2 months. My phone buzzed again. Trinity. Did you send the money yet? The clinic needs it ASAP. Tomorrow morning, I texted back. First thing. Rebecca watched me carefully. You okay? I thought about the time Trinity totaled my first car and convinced our parents it was my fault. About the Christmas she announced her engagement to steal attention from my promotion. About every time she'd played them like fiddles while I watched from the sidelines. I'm done being okay, I said, pulling up my own laptop. Show me what else you found. For the next hour, Rebecca laid out everything. Trinity's secret credit cards, Ross's involvement in previous scams, the trail of lies leading to this moment. By midnight, we had a solid case. Your flight's in 10 hours, Rebecca reminded me. You should get some sleep. One more thing. I opened my banking app and made a show of setting up a transfer. Taking a screenshot, I sent it to my parents and Trinity. Payment ready for morning confirmation. Love you all. The responses were immediate. Mom. We're so proud of you, sweetheart. Dad. That's our girl. Trinity. Knew you'd do the right thing, sis. Rebecca read over my shoulder. They really think you're going through with it? They think what they want to think. I closed my laptop. Just like always. The detective in Switzerland is ready, Rebecca said. He'll meet you at the resort tomorrow night. My phone lit up one last time. A family photo from Mom. Trinity in the middle, looking frail and brave, our parents hugging her. The caption read, "Family is everything. So grateful for everyone's support during this difficult time." I showed Rebecca. Share that one with the detective too. Already did. She stood up, gathering her things. You sure you want to go through with this? Once you start, there's no going back. I thought about the photo, about Trinity's practiced pose, about our parents' proud smiles, about all the years I'd spent being the responsible one while she played them for fools. Trinity wants to be the center of attention? I smiled. I'll give her all the attention she can handle. After Rebecca left, I packed my bag. Comfortable clothes, hidden camera, all the evidence we'd gathered. My phone kept buzzing with grateful messages from family members, all praising my change of heart. Tomorrow, they'd learn what a real change of heart looked like. I set my alarm and tried to sleep, but Trinity's voice kept echoing in my head. Knew you'd do the right thing, sis. Oh, Trinity. You have no idea what the right thing looks like. But you will. Very soon. The Grand Alps Resort was exactly as luxurious as its website promised. I checked in under a fake name, wearing a wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses. Rebecca's idea. The concierge directed me to my room, right down the hall from Trinity's suite. Your sister won't last a week here, a gravelly voice said behind me. I turned to find Detective Owens, the local investigator Rebecca had contacted. We've seen this scam before. Rich kids playing sick to milk their families dry. She's not rich, I said, just entitled. Even worse. He handed me a small camera. Wear this when you confront her. We'll need evidence. A burst of familiar laughter echoed from the pool area. Through the window, I spotted Trinity lounging in a bikini, cocktail in hand, Ross massaging her shoulders. No sign of any terminal illness. Got your wire on? Owens asked. I tapped the pendant Rebecca had given me. Recording everything. Good, because your sister's been busy. He showed me his phone. She's already booked 3 months of spa treatments. Charge them to your parents' credit card this morning. My hands clenched. After I promised to pay? Greedy people get sloppy. He nodded toward the pool. Go, watch, document, but don't confront her yet. I made my way to a shaded lounger, ordering a water to blend in. Trinity's voice carried clearly across the deck. The best part? She was saying to Ross. Greta actually fell for it. She's transferring the money tomorrow. Ross laughed. Your sister's such a sucker. Always has been. Remember when she paid my college debt? God, she'll believe anything if you cry enough. I clicked the pendant, making sure it caught every word. What about your parents? Ross asked. They really think you're dying? Trinity stretched luxuriously. Mom's already planning my miracle recovery. 3 months here, then I'll go home cured. They'll be so relieved they won't even ask questions. And the money? What can they do? Sue their dying daughter? She sipped her cocktail. Besides, once Greta's payment clears, we're extending our stay. I found this amazing villa in Bali. My phone buzzed. Mom, Trinity's having such a rough day at the clinic. Thank you for helping, sweetie. I snapped a photo of Trinity getting a poolside manicure and sent it to Detective Owens. That's good, he texted back, but we need more. Follow her. For the next few hours, I tracked Trinity through the resort. She got a massage, for my pain, ordered champagne lunch, building my strength, and booked a sunset yacht tour, fresh air therapy. Not once did she go near the medical center she'd claimed was treating her. Miss? A resort employee approached my lounger. Ms. Trinity asked me to deliver this schedule to her sister. Are you? I took the paper. It was a full itinerary of spa treatments, parties, and excursions, booked solid for 3 months. Perfect, Owens texted when I sent him a photo. Meet me in the lobby. Time to move. Before I could stand, Trinity herself appeared by my chair. Oh my God, she gasped. Greta? I lowered my sunglasses. Surprise. What? What are you doing here? Her face cycled through shock, fear, and anger before settling on her familiar victim expression. I mean, I'm supposed to be starting treatment. Really? I held up her schedule. Before or after your caviar facial? You don't understand. Oh, I understand perfectly. I stood up. The question is, will Mom and Dad understand when they see these photos? Or should we ask the police to explain it to them? Trinity grabbed my arm, her fake frailty forgotten. You wouldn't dare. Watch me. I'll tell them you're lying, she hissed. They'll believe me. They always believe me. I smiled, touching my pendant. That's why I recorded everything you just said by the pool. The color drained from her face. Greta, wait. Miss? Detective Owens appeared beside us, badge visible. Is this woman bothering you? Trinity's eyes darted between us, realization dawning. You set me up. No, Trinity, you set yourself up. I nodded to Owens. Show her what we found. As Owens laid out the evidence, the fraudulent charges, the fake medical documents, the recorded conversations, Trinity's perfect mask finally cracked. You're supposed to be the good one, she spat. The reliable one. The one who fixes everything. Not anymore. I turned to leave, then paused. Oh, and Trinity? Mom's expecting you at the clinic tomorrow for treatment. Should I tell her you're busy with your yacht tour? Her scream of rage echoed across the pool deck, drawing stares from other guests. But I didn't look back. For the first time in my life, I wasn't there to fix Trinity's mess. I was there to expose it. Your sister's trying to leave the country, Detective Owens said, bursting into my hotel room at dawn. Ross booked them flights to Bali for tonight. I was already dressed, waiting for this. Did you stop them? Better. He grinned. We froze their accounts, all of them, including the ones your parents don't know about. My phone rang. Mom's name flashed on screen. Greta? Her voice was frantic. Trinity's not answering her phone. The clinic says they've never heard of her. What's going on? Where are you? Your father and I just landed in Switzerland. We wanted to surprise Trinity, support her through treatment, but... Stay there, I cut her off. I'm sending you the resort's address. And Mom, bring your credit card statements. An hour later, I stood in the resort's lobby watching my parents walk in, their faces dropping as they took in the luxury surroundings. This is the clinic? Dad asked. No, I said. This is where your money went. Detective Owens appeared with his tablet. Mr. and Mrs. Lawson, we need to talk about your daughter's fraudulent activities. Mom's face hardened. Greta, what have you done? Show them. I nodded to Owens. He pulled up photos. Trinity partying, Trinity shopping, Trinity and Ross planning their next destination. Then came the bank statements, the fake medical documents, the recorded conversations. That's not... Mom sank into a chair. She wouldn't. Mrs. Lawson, Owens said gently. Your daughter and her boyfriend have been running similar scams across Europe. This isn't their first time. Dad's voice shook. How much? From you? Almost $500,000, counting credit cards and loans. Owens scrolled through his notes. From others, we're still calculating. A commotion erupted near the elevators. Trinity appeared, dragging luggage, Ross right behind her. Run, she shouted when she saw us. Ross, go. Ross took one look at the police and bolted toward the service exit. 2 officers tackled him before he made it halfway. Trinity, Mom whispered. Trinity froze, her perfect patient mask slipping into place. Mommy, Daddy, I can explain. Save it, I snapped. The performance is over. You bitch. She lunged at me, all pretense gone. You ruined everything. Officers grabbed her arms as she thrashed and screamed. I ruined everything? I stepped closer. Who maxed out Dad's credit cards? Who faked cancer to steal their retirement? Who's been lying to everyone for years? They wanted to believe me, she spat. They always believe me over you because you're boring, reliable, Nothing special. Mom made a choked sound. You're right, I said quietly. They always believed you. But guess what? The police don't. Owen stepped forward. Trinity, you're under arrest for fraud, theft, and conspiracy. No. She turned to our parents. Mom, Dad, please, Greta's lying. I'm sick, I really am. Dad wouldn't look at her. Mom was crying. Show them your medical records, I challenged. Show them one real doctor's note. Trinity's face contorted. I hate you. I've always hated you. Miss Perfect, Miss Responsible. Take her, Owens ordered. As the officers led Trinity away, she kept screaming, Mom! Dad! Don't let them do this! I'm your baby! Your special girl! Her voice faded down the hallway. Ross was already gone, escorted out the back. Mom crumpled the credit card statements in her hands. How could she? Because you let her, I said. Because you always let her. Greta. Dad reached for me. We never meant… Don't. I stepped back. Don't say you never meant for this to happen. You made it happen. Every time you believed her lies. Every time you took her side. Every time you made me pay for her mistakes. We're so sorry, Mom whispered. Sorry doesn't cover my mortgage payments. Sorry doesn't repay my savings. Sorry doesn't fix 20 years of choosing her over me. Owens touched my shoulder. They'll need to make statements at the station. I nodded, suddenly exhausted. Go with him. Sort out the charges. Figure out how much she stole. And you? Dad asked. I'm going home. My real home. Not the one you mortgaged to fund Trinity's lies. Please, Mom stepped forward. We need you. No, I said. You needed me to fix things, to pay bills, to clean up Trinity's messes. But that's over now. I walked away, their voices calling after me. But for the first time, I didn't turn back. Didn't try to help. Didn't try to fix anything. Let them figure it out themselves. I had my own life to live. The courtroom fell silent as Trinity walked in, wearing a plain gray dress instead of her usual designer clothes. Gone was the fake pallor and theatrical weakness. Now she just looked small and angry. All rise, the bailiff called. Rebecca squeezed my hand as we stood. She'd flown in for the hearing, bringing a thick folder of evidence she'd gathered. Mom and Dad sat on the opposite side of the room, both looking decades older than they had a month ago. How are you holding up? Rebecca whispered. Before I could answer, Trinity's lawyer approached us. Ms. Greta, my client would like to speak with you before we begin. No. She's your sister. Was, I corrected. She was my sister. The prosecutor stood up. Your Honor, we have evidence of systematic fraud spanning 3 years, multiple victims, and international jurisdictions. Trinity's lawyer jumped in. My client is willing to make full restitution. With what money? I couldn't help asking. The money she stole? Order, the judge warned. The prosecutor displayed bank statements on the courtroom screen. Evidence shows the defendant orchestrated multiple schemes, including faking terminal illnesses to extract money from family members and charitable organizations. Photos appeared. Trinity at luxury resorts, Trinity shopping in Paris, Trinity and Ross planning their next con. Mom started crying. Dad just stared at the floor. Furthermore, the prosecutor continued, we have recorded evidence of the defendant admitting these crimes were premeditated. My pendant recording played through the courtroom speakers. Trinity's voice clear and cruel. Greta actually fell for it. She'll believe anything if you cry enough. Trinity spun around to face me. You recorded me? Your own sister? The defendant will face forward, the judge ordered. The evidence kept mounting. Fake medical documents, fraudulent loan applications, Trinity's social media posts bragging about her luxury lifestyle while supposedly dying. Your Honor, Trinity's lawyer tried again. My client recognizes the severity of her actions. Because she got caught, I said loudly. Ms. Greta, the judge warned, please refrain from commentary. Trinity stood up suddenly. I want to make a statement. Her lawyer tried to stop her, but she pushed past him to face the court. I did it, she announced. I faked being sick. I took the money. But you don't understand. They made me this way. She pointed at our parents. They always loved Greta more. Perfect Greta. Responsible Greta. I had to be special somehow. That's not true, Mom sobbed. Isn't it? Trinity's voice rose. Who paid your bills? Who fixed your problems? Who was your favorite before I learned how to make you love me? Sit down, her lawyer hissed. No, you all want the truth? Here it is. I'm glad I did it. I deserved that money. I deserved everything I took, and I'd do it again. The judge's gavel cracked like a gunshot. That's enough. Trinity wasn't finished. She turned to me, eyes blazing. You think you've won? You think this makes you better than me? At least I lived. At least I had fun. What did you ever do except work and pay bills and be boring? I stayed honest, I said quietly. I stayed real. The defendant will be seated, the judge ordered, or be removed from this court. Trinity sat, but her words hung in the air like poison. The judge shuffled his papers. Given the defendant's admission of guilt and apparent lack of remorse, I'm prepared to deliver sentencing. Rebecca gripped my hand again as Trinity's punishment was announced. 5 years in prison, full restitution to all victims, mandatory psychiatric evaluation. No. Mom tried to stand, but Dad held her back. Trinity showed no reaction until the bailiff approached with handcuffs. Then she started screaming. Mom! Dad! Don't let them take me! Greta, please! I'm your sister! Your little sister! The same words she'd used 1,000 times to get her way. But this time, nobody moved to help her. As they led her out, she made one final threat. This isn't over. You'll regret this, Greta. You'll miss me. You'll all miss me. The courtroom emptied slowly. Mom and Dad left without looking at me. Rebecca gathered her files. Want to get a drink? She asked. Actually, I said, I want to go home and sleep. Really sleep, for the first time in years. No more midnight calls for money? No more emergencies to fix? No more sister to save? I watched Trinity's last threat echo down the hallway. No, I said. No more sister at all. Outside, reporters waited with cameras and microphones, but I walked past them, head high, Rebecca beside me. I was done telling other people's stories. Time to live my own. My phone buzzed during breakfast. Mom's number. Delete, Rebecca suggested, pouring more coffee. She'd stayed over after helping me repaint my apartment, my way of reclaiming the space my family had tried to mortgage. I silenced the phone but didn't delete the message. It joined hundreds of others. Apologies, explanations, guilt trips. Dad's latest was about Trinity doing well in prison, whatever that meant. You haven't answered any of them, Rebecca noted. Nothing to say. The doorbell rang. A delivery man held out a certified letter. My hands shook as I read it. Trinity's restitution payment. The first installment. Money earned from prison work. Barely a fraction of what she'd stolen. But something. Well, Rebecca said, reading over my shoulder. That's unexpected. Another buzz. A text from an unknown number. It's Ross. We need to talk. Delete that one, I said. Rebecca complied, then hesitated. Your mom's at the door. Through the window, I saw her standing there, clutching her purse, looking lost. The same look she'd worn at Trinity's sentencing. Let her knock, I said. But she didn't knock. Instead, she slipped an envelope under the door and walked away. Inside was a bank statement. My name had been added to my parents' new account, not as a contributor this time, but as a recipient. They'd been depositing money monthly, paying back everything I'd given them over the years. Huh, Rebecca said. Looks like they're actually trying. Too late. Is it? Before I could answer, my phone lit up with a news alert. Local woman exposes international luxury resort scam ring. The article detailed how my evidence against Trinity and Ross had helped uncover a larger fraud network. "Detective Owens sent that," Rebecca said. "He says you helped save other families from being conned." I set down my coffee. I need some air. Outside, Mom was still in the parking lot, sitting in her car. She rolled down her window as I approached. "I'm not here to make excuses," she said quickly, "or ask for forgiveness." "Then why are you here?" "To give you this." She handed me a small box. Inside was her grandmother's ring, the one she'd always promised to Trinity. "I don't want it." "I know." She pulled out another envelope. "These are Trinity's letters from prison. She doesn't know I'm showing you." I read them silently. Pages of rage, blame, self-pity, until the last one. Something different. "I don't know how to be real," Trinity had written. "Greta always knew who she was. I just knew how to pretend." "She's in therapy now," Mom said softly. "Actually talking, not performing." "Good for her. We're in therapy too, your father and I." She twisted her wedding ring. "Learning why we failed you both so badly." A lump formed in my throat. "I have to go." "Wait." She pulled out one final paper. "Remember that loan you wouldn't co-sign for Trinity's treatment?" I nodded. "We took it anyway. Used our house as collateral." She handed me the document. "We're selling the house to pay it back, moving into a small apartment." "Mom." "No, let me finish. We're not asking for help this time, or forgiveness, or anything. She wiped her eyes. "We just want you to know we finally understand what we did. To you, to Trinity, to ourselves." I stood there holding the papers, feeling the weight of decades shifting. "I can't fix this," Mom said. "Can't make it right. But I can stop making it worse." She started her car. "That's what I learned from you." As she drove away, Rebecca appeared beside me. "You okay?" I looked at everything in my hands. The restitution check, the bank statement, Trinity's letters, the family ring. A lifetime of complications reduced to paper and gold. "You know what?" I said. "I think I am." "What are you going to do?" I pulled out my phone, deleted the hundreds of unread messages, and started fresh. "Dear Mom," I typed. "I got your payment. Thank you. I can't promise forgiveness yet, but I can promise honesty. If you can too, maybe we can start there." I hit send, then turned to Rebecca. "Want to help me make a donation?" "The restitution money?" "To fraud victim support groups." I smiled. "Seems fitting." We walked back inside, leaving the ring in Mom's car. Some things couldn't be fixed with family heirlooms or prison apologies or therapy revelations, but some things didn't need fixing. They just needed to be real.